Minority lawmakers criticize calling session for one bill and adding on several others without the benefit of a public hearing or deliberation with the relevant agencies. They were especially critical of Senator Chris Barnett's bill, which allows Emergency Procurement Authority for GDOE to continue for up to 120 days after the public emergency ends. Barnett wants as many schools health inspected and ready ahead of the new term, which starts on August 9. But Republicans Joanne Brown and Chris Duenas argued against giving up that much discretion, especially without providing a final chance to question GDOE.
You want us to just open the floodgates and, hey, everything's an emergency procurement. Let's just get on the bandwagon. I don't know how seeing the track record somehow is going to improve because we simply remove the standards. And yet we're going to go back and say, oh, don't worry about meeting your responsibility and obligations and performing your job effectively. We'll just get rid of the requirements because it's an emergency. And somehow we think that's going to, because I will be there, Mr. Chair, I will be there at your hearings, and we're going to find out what doesn't get resolved in the 120 days. You know, before Cinderella's pumpkin disappears. And there's no prince to come along and rescue her.
So we have a right to question these things, Madam Speaker, and we have a right to object to things and decide whether we're going to vote on a bill one way or the other. Not because we don't believe or none of us want to help, but when you call a session for one bill, and it turns into this, there's going to be a couple of them you're going to disagree with at some point.
But bill sponsor Senator Barnett pushed back.
Our kids deserve this. I don't want to see it kicked down the road for another year. And then after that, another year. And then another year. There are safeguards in place for emergency procurement. There are whistleblowers. You know how many times an employee of the Guam Department of Education or any other agency sends me a message, hey, Senator, check this out. I don't want to cover anything up. But I also don't want to bury our kids' future. Because we are in an emergency. This typhoon came and landed right smack dab in the middle of our efforts to comply with Public Law 37-4. That's why this bill's on this agenda.
The bill passed by a vote of 8-5, strictly along party lines. 2 members were absent. Nestor Lecanto, KOAM News.